Okay, this is my week 7 homework. Okay, so starting out lines 1 to 71. We are creating a comprehensive stock analysis dashboard. So just lines 1 through 4. We're importing the libraries. Pandas is used to help with the data handling and the calculations. Plotly graph is used to create the graphs. Plotly figure is used to create the histograms for the returns. And Y finance is used to download our stock data from Yahoo Finance. And so on line 7, this YF, or line 8, this YF download is downloading our stock data from Yahoo Finance. In 9, the if statement here, df empty, is used so that if stock data doesn't exist, it will print out this error return. Lines 13, so these will be a part of our data frame, which is used for the DF, the purpose of the DF. And then we're getting the simple moving average on closing, and the percent return, the percent change, and the exponential moving average and the RSI here. And this dropna is for the purpose of removing the NaN values. So when we get no values, we're dropping that so it doesn't give us an error. In 23, so series diff. This is finding the day-to-day change in stock price gain, where it's only keeping positive, only keeping the positive numbers and the loss numbers. So the gain and the loss. And then keeping the regular price changes, or the negative price changes. And here's the formula for that. 31, this df get stock data. So this is calling for it to fetch the stock data. If no data exists, then it'll just print out this error message here and then stop running. 31, so this df gets the stock data, it's calling for it to fetch its stock price. Yeah, and if no data exists, this will be the return for it. 37, we're going to start plotting the closing average, which is here, the closing price, the moving average, and the exponential moving average. And so when I run it, we'll be able to see these lines on the chart. And 43, the fig add. This will add a bar chart for our volume. So this is the purpose. The go bar is the bar chart that we're adding. And 45, we're finalizing the stock chart with the titles and the labels and the formatting. And fig show will display the chart. And here will be a return distribution charts with the historical figure. This is plotting the histogram of the daily returns. And this historical show will show it at the end in a different website. And 61, we're creating our ISR chart, so this is the figure for it. This RS fig is making the figure. And this will plot the RSI with the overbought on y equals 70 and oversold on y equals 30. So overbought would be this line on y equals 70, oversold would be this line on y equals 30. We're adding the line, and then at the end we'll be able to show it. We're going to use Apple for the ticker on a 20-day moving average, and this will plot the stock chart. So for this one, we're getting the RSI, the distribution chart, the volume chart, and the price of the moving average. So let's try to run it. And it may not work the first time. So I just worked this on, I'm not sure why it's not. And the first one worked. So going back to here, we got our data frame. So everything's load. Okay, this is our stock price and the moving averages for the volume. Wasn't able to get it to come up for the closing price to show up on the chart. We were still able to get the data frame for it, so we have the closing price of Apple and the dates, the moving averages, um, the EMA, the RSI, the volume, and the returns here. We're able to get that for that. And we were not able to get this one to work. But we were able to get the return distribution. So this is a graph for the return distribution of Apple, the RSI, so that was what we just went over. So next, on 75 through 196. The only new thing that we're adding is we're importing the plotly graph to create an interactive chart, and the plotly express for the simplified heat map. And so line 83 here, we're creating a portfolio return using the PD data frame, and we're defining the three columns of the stocks, or not stocks, the assets, the tickers, and the allocations. Um, and so these are the stocks, the bonds, real estate, gold, and cash. This is a ticker for the SP 500. Bond, real estate, gold, and nothing for cash, and the allocations for it. And 90, we're retrieving the portfolio data. Then we create the the plot chart for it. For lines 90 and then 91. Sorry, for 90, we're visualizing the portfolio allocation. So this is where we're going to get the chart. And then 91, we're retrieving the portfolio data, and then we create the plot chart. And the whole 0.4 right here, this is used to make it a donut chart. So moving down here, this will show us this will give us a title for our new website, and it will show the charts of line 101, 100. We're just fetching the stock price from Yahoo Finance. And then this dropna here is removing the non-values to sorry, removing the non-values to list the different types to be able to list them and convert them to the portfolio uh, tracker, and it puts into a list form, portfolio ticker, sorry, into a list form. And 106, we're downloading it from Y Finance. We're calling for it to download the information from Y Finance for a period of 6 months. And so 109, this if is instance PD data frame. This checks if the data is a data frame. If close, then it checks if the close column exists. Then data close will extract the closing price. So it uses close price instead. Going down, and we have here, if nothing else works, it will just close. It will give us this return to close not found on multi-index. And same here, if nothing else is found, unexpected data structure could not print prices. And if that is not working, then it will give us this data is not a data frame. So the else if data is not structured, if it's not structured correctly, the function will just print out the error message. And then moving down to 136, we're calculating the daily percentage return. And so that is this line right here. We're calculating the daily percentage return in stock prices. And drop now again is to remove the missing values. And 138. So this is analyzing the returns and volatility, assuming there's 252 days in a trading year. So analyzing the returns and analyzing volatilities based off of 252 days. 143, this is where we start visualizing the stock performance with the line chart. This is defining what we're doing. And this is getting the performance from it. This is calling it to fetch the performance from it. The if function for if there is no price data, then it will print out this error message. For the normalized data, this is the formula we're using for it. The price data divided by price data ILOC. And this will print out the figure of our chart. And it's creating the figure for our line chart. And this will be on this purpose is to have the axis titles and the y-axis titles and the format of the chart. On 60, we're creating the risk return scatter plot. Right here, we're defining the risk return scatter plot with this code. And we're saying that if there is no price, then we'll get this return. We'll tell it to spit out this return instead. And so line 166, here we're calling for it to calculate the risk return to compute the mechanisms. or not the mechanisms, minimum, the mean returns, and it's the expected return of each asset and the volatility of the risk. 168 here, we're adding the figure, and we're adding the data uh, for the scatter plot. 175, we are producing the heat correlation map, and 176, purpose of this is to be able to call to get the asset performance to retrieve the stock price data, and 177 is checking if the price data is empty, then it will print out this error message. And here we're getting our returns in the correlation matrix. Lines 84, this creates the heat map, the heat correlation map, in this figure. Fig Show is displaying the map on the different website. And we'll run the visualizations here, the allocation, the comparison, the scatter, and the heat map, and we'll be able to get to see that here in a second. So here, this is what we get for the portfolio allocation, the 50, 20, 15, 10, and 5. Then we get the portfolio performance comparison between the bonds, the stocks, the gold, and real estate, and cash. And here we get a risk return scatter plot based off the volatility and the expected return. And here we're getting our asset correlation heat map, just based off the figures and the correlation compared to each other. So next, lines 200. Here we're creating a candlestick chart, and so at line 207, the YF download. This is using Y Finance to be able to fetch the historical data, the stock price data here. And 217 or 214, this is we're getting the data for the closing price. In 217, the local min is finding support levels, and the local max is finding the resistance levels. And the arg relax trema. So this is just being able to use, or this is used to be able to detect the peaks and troughs based off our data, historical data. And then lines 229. This is where we're defining that we're making the plotting, or we're plotting the candlestick chart. In 231, we're calling it to fetch the data, the historical data from Yahoo Finance. 234, this is finding the support and resistance levels. And it prints out, it'll be printing out the levels here on our website. And then 241, we're using this if statement. So before we can before we can connect the support levels to the flow, and the script will check if it's empty. So lines 247, the support and the resistance levels. Lines 247. We're printing out the results for support and resistance levels on our new chart based on our website. And lines 251. This is to be able to create our actual figure. And here are all the parts to it. We have the high, low, the name of it, And then our x-axis data, our y-axis data, the name, the opacity. And 273, the for level is needed so that for the script only plots support and resistance levels if they exist. And here we're adding all the titles for our x-axis or y-axis, our title for our chart, and the legends. And this fixed show will run it onto our other website, and plot candlestick chart is showing it for Apple. So you get to see the support levels at 121 and at 207. And then we get to see resistance levels of Apple at these dates. And we get to see another cleaned out version of them at 121 and 207, and more resistance levels in the dates. And here we're looking at the stock price and the resistance levels and the support levels at the times and dates. Thank you.